What's up everyone, Max Tech Toy Box here, and I am doing a video comparison of the Garmin Venu and the Huawei GT2. Okay, so first things first, we can't start this video without talking about design. So as you guys know, pretty much in every single video that I have posted with the Huawei GT2, I have spoken about the design of this watch and how I think it is beautifully crafted. This is the 46 millimeter version. Beautiful OLED panel, the two buttons on the sides, sort of the universal back button, and then this can be your quick launch button to launch an application, or I have it set just to open up workout so then I can start a quick workout. Okay, if you guys want a full in-depth review of this device, make sure to look in the link. There's links in the description where I go over this device and sort of give you my thoughts. Pretty good smartwatch. On the back here, we see the four optically based heart rate monitor with the 4 diodes, the 2 pins for the proprietary charging dock that Huawei uses. This does use industry standard 22 millimeter straps. Okay, stainless steel. This is not a rotating bezel, but again, just beautifully crafted. It looks very, very good. So now the Garmin Venu. This is a smaller body for sure. We're sitting here and we're comparing the two. In my opinion, still a nice looking device. You guys know I'm sort of a sucker for gold, black and gold, so that's what I got working on this side. This is a touchscreen display, OLED as well. Biggest difference between this and the Vivo Active 4. You have your 2 buttons on this side, sort of the home button as well, and then the quick launch to go to workouts here, the bottom side. This is, oh, for whatever reason, it's not opening that. Oops, sorry. So this is the back button there, and then that I got them confused, and that's to open up your workouts. Okay, OLED panel, touchscreen. You can swipe up and down to go through all of the different statistics. Again, watch the review on this if you guys want to know more information specifically about this device. Turning it over in the back, we have the optically based heart rate monitor, just 2 diodes. Even though it's only 2, it actually is fairly accurate in comparison to a lot of the other fitness trackers that I use. So there's 2 slots here, but there's actually a number of lights. It's tough for you guys to see, but it's like 3 up top and then 3 on the bottom here. So it's more so a total of 6. I've not been able to find any information on exactly how many diodes are featured on this. I just go by the slots that are present. If you guys know that information, please post it in the comment section below. Okay, and then the 2 that are not lighting up are for the pulse oximeter. So this has a built-in pulse oximeter on this as well. And then this is the pogo dock. So if anybody, I think people were asking, I put it in the review video, that this can use the exact same charger as the Vivo Active 3, which is great because there's a lot of accessories out for that particular device. So industry standard 20 millimeter straps here. A nice overall looking device. So now let's start off with some of the common things that both of these watches have, since we're doing a comparison. They both have a slew of fitness features, or fitness tracking features. Both have sleep tracking built in. They count your steps. They both can calculate your VO2 max within the application that they both have. So basically you go out running, you have to run with the Garmin Venu, you have to run for over 15 minutes just once. And then after that, it will be able to calculate your VO2 max. The Huawei GT2, there's not a set time that they state, but it does calculate your VO2 max if you're out running. Now, in comparing them, I will say that the VO2 max was not the same for both of them. And I don't know necessarily if I can blame the vendors or where exactly that difference really lies, and I don't know which one is more accurate. I have been using more of the Garmin series of devices for measuring my VO2 max, but that doesn't mean that it's more accurate. On the GT2, I got a VO2 max of 44 and a 49 over here on the Garmin Venu. Now, usually my VO2 max, I haven't been running probably in a couple of weeks or so. My VO2 max is usually in like the low 50s. So, but again, that's with me measuring it with the Garmin series of watches like the Garmin 645 Forerunner. Okay, so take that for what it's worth. They also do training effect, and then stress measuring as well is built in to both of them. Again, now it depends on which side of your fence, because although they both track these metrics, the VO2 max, training effect, and stress measuring, there are some variances between them both. So I don't know which one is actually more accurate. They both use first beat technology. So the science behind them both is the same. So I don't know why the numbers are different. And the numbers aren't hugely different. They're just off by like maybe 0.2, 0.3, but take that for what it's worth, okay? Both applications do a fairly good job at delivering information. However, Garmin Connect is definitely more thorough and feature packed in everything that it does have. Again, check out my full review video on the Garmin Venu so you guys can see what the Garmin Connect application has within it. Garmin also has training load in addition to training effect. Also has body battery, which you guys can see here, or I can show you here. So on the Garmin Venu, if I just swipe up, it tells you my day. Let me see. So, well, I'm not wearing it, so it's not going to tell me my heart rate. Health status. Sorry. Oops. So that's to measure your stress. This is the body battery here. And then this is for respiration. Okay, so let me go back here. Since I'm not wearing the watch, the data is not going to appear because it needs you to wear the watch in order to give the accurate information. Also, sort of getting ahead of myself, they both feature always on displays, but the Garmin Venu has a built-in feature where if you're not wearing it, it knows you're not wearing it because it's not getting your heart rate, and therefore it's going to turn off the display. Weirdly enough, it's measuring my heart rate even though I'm not actually wearing the device. That's weird. But anyway, so going back, because I got a little ahead of myself. So as I said, the Garmin also has a training load, body battery, and a pulse oximeter monitoring, as well as respirations. So a lot more fitness features packed into the Garmin Venu, just in terms of overall body metrics that it does provide. Also, kudos to Garmin because there's the actual built-in strength training workout mode with the Garmin Venu. That was one of my qualms that I had with the Huawei GT2. It didn't have a built-in strength. So right here, obviously I have this and I have some of my favorites sitting there. With the Huawei GT2, nothing like that. Go here to quickly launch a workout. Running courses, outdoor run, indoor walk, indoor walk, outdoor cycle, pool swimming, open water, climbing, hike, trail run, triathlon, elliptical, rower, other. It's a little bit of a letdown, sorry, because of whatever. I already expressed that. I think that should have been built in, but it is what it is. Moving forward, GPS. So both of them were actually fairly accurate in the GPS. They both have GPS, GLONASS, and Galileo. When I took these out for a run and I compared it against my phone, all of them basically lapped at the exact same time. So again, GPS is pretty accurate. I think that in my other review, I stated that the Huawei watch was a little less accurate. I did go back and change it. I put a little sort of title screen at the bottom where I said that was inaccurate. I think it was just because of the surrounding buildings I was around, but in open space in my testing, specifically where I stay, the Garmin Venu is just as good, or the Huawei GT2 is just as good as the Garmin Venu, which is just as good as the GPS on my phone. So great GPS I'm tracking there. So running on the Garmin, it does track pace in real time. The GT2 suffers the exact same issue that almost any other OLED panel or smartwatch suffers for some reason, is it doesn't track the pace in real time. The only other watch that tracks it in real time as well is the Apple Watch, if I remember correctly. So that means in real time, the pace is updating like immediately. So if your pace is changing, you look down at your Garmin Venu, it's changing, like I said, in real time. With this, it'll say one thing like while you're running, and then you lift up your arm and you look at it, and it'll change, and it'll change, and it'll change until it adjusts to your actual running pace. Now, even though the pace adjusts, it's not in real time and it's not continuous. Your actual pace for when you're running the mile comes in to be accurate because the GPS signal is accurate. So, for example, let's say if I'm running at a pace, or I'm running for a mile and I just clear that mile. Since both of the devices are tracking the mile at the same time, and because the GPS is accurate, let's say I ran it at 8 minutes and 33 seconds. While I'm looking at the watch here, it may say that I'm running at 9 minutes and 15 seconds or 8 minutes and 30 seconds. So that actual live tracking pace on this may be inaccurate, but the pace overall when you finish running will be accurate. Now, The only reason why that's an issue is because if you're somebody that's looking at your watch to try and keep up your pace, because that's naturally what you do, then that could be misleading and you may end up, gassing or overexerting yourself to run at a faster pace when really you've been running at a decent pace the whole time. So that's the only issue that I have with that. Moving on, with the Garmin, this sort of goes into the whole slew of fitness features. You can actually create custom workouts like runs, and you can set the pace and time intervals that you want. You can't do that with this. Pretty set in the features that you can use in terms of running, or really pretty much in terms of all fitness tracking. Heart rate monitor is fairly accurate between the two of them. Heart rate average was between 2 to 3 beats per minute on both of them for workouts, so good there. You also can stream music to a Bluetooth headset on both of the devices. On the Huawei GT2, you can actually play music to a speaker. There's no speaker on the Venu, so you don't have that option. However, on the Venu, you do have the option, so you can download music directly to the Venu using a computer application, which, to be honest, it sucks. But then you can also use Spotify or Amazon Music and Deezer. So that's good because you have the third-party applications, which you don't get over here on the Huawei GT2, which is one of the issues that I have with that. You're limited in your third-party applications and your feature set and what you can do outside of what Huawei has built in or what they provide. Continuous heart rate monitor on both of them, no issues with that. Always on display on both of them. You can answer calls on the Huawei GT2. You cannot on here because there's no microphone and no speaker. You can make NFC payments on the Garmin Venu though, that you can't do in here, so you have Garmin Pay. Also on the Garmin Venu, you get two-way notifications, so that means you can respond. So let's see really quick. Let me see if I can get a message to come in. So I'm gonna have my wife send me a text message on here so you guys can see what it looks like when you get a two-way notification. So here, see it says test. So you can swipe up from here, and then I can reply. So I can dismiss, reply, view conversation, call. That means I can launch a call from here. Also go to reply. These are sort of some canned messages that are here. And then if I made my own custom responses, they would appear on this as well. And I can change the order of what I want to be here. So I can hit here, can't talk now. Now the message is sent. So that's a two-way notification, which I'm pretty sure you guys knew about, but whatever. Just wanted to show you guys how that works on the Garmin Venu. Again, that's in my review video as well. But you don't have that ability here on the Huawei GT2. As a matter of fact, I should have gotten that same message over here on the Huawei. Yep, here, got that message here, test, and there's nothing that I can do here besides just see that it says test. So that sucks. Also, again, there's just more fitness features on the Garmin Venu or Garmin series of watches in general. You can integrate data with MyFitnessPal so you can get a more complete picture of health when you're using the Garmin Connect app. On the Huawei GT2 application, the health app, you can add, you can connect, having a brain fart, scales and things of that nature, so you can get a nice complete picture. But the Garmin Connect application just has a lot more information. It's just way more robust, which is understandable because that's what Garmin does, but they both use first-speed technology. So it's all about what Garmin is recording your data. And then, at least for me, what's important, especially with the fitness tracker, is it's recording all of the data that I'm giving it, and then it's giving it to me in a digestible format, so that I can see a bunch of different things. I can see what my pulse ox is, so I can see what my sleep tracking is. Both of them do a very good job about sleep tracking and giving the different percentages for REM sleep, deep sleep, light sleep, and things of that nature. Again, now for that metric, there's a lot of interoperability, or there's a lot of variances there, and I don't know why, and this is across the board for all sleep trackers. None of them are consistent in the same numbers, so I don't know which one is more accurate for my deep sleep or REM sleep or anything like that. At this point in time, I'm okay with that. I just want something that's going to show me how long I've been sleeping, if I'm well rested, and most of the time I can tell. The more deep sleep I get, especially if I'm pushing myself during the day, I usually get a lot more deep sleep. And then also something that's tracking my heart rate while I'm sleeping. And I know once my heart rate drops a little bit lower, in the 40s sometimes, I know that I got a pretty good night's rest. So Just throwing that out there, sort of going on a little spiel there. But again, you just get way more fitness features and fitness tracking information from the Garmin Venu than you'll get on the Huawei GT2. Also, you get social media sharing. If you like that aspect, you can connect with friends on the Garmin Venu, and then there's badges that you can earn as well if you're into that. Some sort of reward system, which some people need or like, whatever. Cool for you if that's what you're into. So overall, between the two watches, I mean, basically from the way that this video went, it's maybe it doesn't seem like I'm being subjective, but I am. I try to be as objective as possible. But the Garmin Venu is just a better overall watch, and I can't even say just a better overall fitness tracker. I just think it's a better smartwatch, because even though it does everything great at fitness tracking, I mean, it does everything that you want it to do from a fitness tracking standpoint. Even if you don't like the heart rate monitor on this, the fact that it allows you to connect a Bluetooth heart rate monitor onto the Garmin Venu, which I don't think I went over, so that lets you get the most accurate data there. It gives you that option to do that. Then apart from that, from smartwatch features, so what makes a smartwatch a smartwatch? Third-party applications are really what's driving something to be a smartwatch. And the fact that you get more smartwatch or third-party applications here, you can stream music, you can connect directly to Spotify, download those the songs and play them directly to the watch. You can respond to notifications, two-way notifications. That's good. I will say the Huawei GT2, so for some people, the ability to answer phone calls makes something a smarter watch. But I still think that the overall feature set and everything that the Garmin Venu offers versus the Huawei GT2, I just think that the Garmin Venu offers more. Now, price-wise, currently you can get this for $299. Now, $299, this is a steal. This is also $299. Same thing I said for my Samsung Galaxy Watch 2 video, the comparison. I think that it should have been priced a little bit lower because of what it really doesn't bring to the table. I don't think this is worth it at $299, although it is beautifully designed. They just need to add a lot more to the operating system, to me personally, to make this a daily driver. Really good at what it does at fitness tracking, but now when you compare it, it's sort of in a weird space. Because when I compare it to the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2, it's like, okay, well, the Samsung Galaxy Watch 2 it's a smartwatch. And because it fails to be as accurate or as good of a fitness tracker as the Huawei GT2, and then this is clearly a better fitness tracker. But then when I compare it directly to a fitness tracker, it's not as good, just because the Garmin Venu is just way better. One other thing that I didn't go over, sorry, is battery life. This is better at battery life, a lot better, especially when you use the always on display here. I'm getting maybe about 2.5 days if I'm using the always on display. And that's like with me working out, if I'm doing gym workouts, and I'm not streaming any music, and I'm not connecting my Bluetooth heart rate monitor to this. If I'm like running with GPS, that drops down. I probably get a day and a half, depending on how long my runs are. If my runs are pretty long, then I'm only getting a day. Now, the good thing is that this does you can connect the Garmin Venu 3 charger to it, and you can use, of course, its own proprietary charger as well, but it charges relatively quickly, so no issues with that. Whenever I jump into the shower, I put it on the charging dock, and so because of that, I'm not really complaining about the battery life. But with this display and the always on display, the OLED, it's not as good as the Garmin Vivo Active 4 or the Garmin 645 Forerunner that I had before. So even though still, with all that being said, if you guys were putting me in a corner and asked me which one I think is better, I would say that the Garmin Venu is just a better smartwatch and fitness tracker. So it's Harlot58 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more video comparison videos, more overall tech videos that I'm going to be dropping. So till we see you again, peace.